Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Rina Knits. I am Rina. So, you've learned how to cast on. Now, how do you cast off? Well, keep watching to figure it out. In this video, we're going to learn various different ways of casting off or binding off. Each method has a particular purpose behind it, so definitely keep watching to figure out the various different ways of finishing up your project. There are quite a few ways of casting off or casting off depending on what is actually needed for your project. So here are the different ways to cast off. Now, one of the simplest way to cast off is K2 together. So that means knitting 2 stitches together. So like that, like that, like that, like that. So I'm going to do it one more time. Take these 2 together and knit them this way. So that's the simplest way of casting off. Another way, let's say if you're making a neckline and you need some stitches on this side, you need some stitches on this side, and in between you don't need any stitches. So what you would do is, so you would knit one, knit another, and then slip this over the second stitch like that. So I'm going to do it one more time. Knit and slip over, and that way you could get that. This is a good way of making a hole as well, but this is another way of casting off depending on where you need it. Another way of casting off, now this way it gives it a more smoother end, because K2, if you looked at this, when I did K2 together, it gave it more of a rough finish right here. So another way of doing casting off is slipping one stitch, slipping another stitch, and then knitting these two together. Now this is the best way that works near the end, at the end. And if you notice here, compared to here, it's a more smoother and more smoother finish rather than a rough finish right here. So this is another way of casting off with a more smoother finish rather than a more abrupt finish right here, as you can see. These are 3 different ways to cast off or bind off your stitches. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and set that alert button on so you'll know when the next video is up for your viewing.